You've just learnt quite a lot of syntax throughout this last chapter on SQL, so I thought I'd include a little movie at the end of this chapter as a revision to make sure that you're clear on what each of the statements that we've learnt means. We use show databases to show a list of all the databases on the MySQL system. We use database with the database name to select the default database that we're using. We can use the show tables command to produce a list of tables from a particular database if we specify it, otherwise from the default database we selected using use. We can also use the show columns from statement to give us information about a table and the columns that constitute it. We can use the select statement to retrieve information from a particular table. If we use a where clause along with the select statement, then we can narrow down and get a specific set of results. We can use the create database command to create a new database, and the create table command to create tables within that database. We specify the name of the column within a pair of brackets followed by the type of the column and various other arguments also within those brackets. We use an insert statement to add new data to a database. We say insert into, then give the table name, and we can either go straight on and say values and follow that by the values that we want to add to create a whole row of that table, or after insert into and then the table name we can specify exactly which columns we want to use to add our values into them. We can use an update statement to alter existing data. We use the set clause to specify any changes of values to whatever columns we wish to change, and we should always remember to use a where condition unless we want to update every row in that table. Delete from statement deletes entire rows from a table. Unless we use a where clause with the delete from statement, it will delete every row in the table. So we should be very sure to include a where clause and to make sure that it does what we expect it to do. There's also the alter table statement, and this does several different things. We can rename a table by simply using the rename keyword and then the new name that we wish to give the table. We can add new columns to a table. We can drop an existing column from the table, and we can change a column and define a new name for the column and specify a new type for the column as well, and whatever else we'd put in with an alter table add statement or in the create table statement. We can include all of those options. We can also use the alter table statement to add indexes. All of the SQL statements that we've learnt so far in this chapter, well, pretty much all of them, the majority, actually have more complex forms than the ones we've just learnt. However, these are the basic nuts and bolts that you need to get you started. In our next chapter, we're going to start getting into a little more sophistication and a little more detail.